right, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning if you are on the West Coast. Welcome to our annual new awardee webinar today. I'm happy that all of you could join us. So we will be answering some questions before we get started. Yes, this meeting will be recorded and it will be available after the presentation. So if you have to leave early, no worries. You'll be able to still access the information. The presentation will be about 20 to 30 minutes long. And then we'll leave 15 minutes after the presentation to answer any questions. And if you have any question during the presentation, feel free to type that into the Q&A feature that is located on Teams, and you can type in your question there. And then after the presentation, we will answer questions based on the amount of upvotes it has. So if you have a question and you see that someone had already asked that question and you'd like to know the answer, you can give it an upvote, and that'll allow us to then answer the questions with the most amount of upvotes. And then also it'll reduce the amount of times we're answering the same question. And we want to make sure that we use the time to answer questions wisely and make sure that those questions are relevant to the majority of you. If you have a question that has not been answered by the time of the end of our webinar, feel free to email that question to us after today's session. All right, with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so the agenda for today's session will touch on a few things, some important things that you need to be aware of during your LRP award time period. We will talk about our website, LRP contract, your responsibility as an awardee, quarterly verifications. We have 2 verifications that will happen during each quarter, research, as research service, as well as some loan repayment information, and we'll also touch on some other topics that you should be aware of. We'll go through some resources that are available to you. And again, if you have a question, use the Q&A feature, and the answers will be based on the amount of upvotes that those questions have received. All right, so about a month ago, our website moved to a new location, and yes, it does look different than what we had previously had. And when you had applied to the program, you applied to the program roughly a year ago. So if you go to our website, you will notice some differences. Don't be confused about our program. Our policies and resources are all the same. The award process is all the same. We have an NIH-wide consolidation and other efforts, so we have moved under the grants and funding. So NIH grants and funding is where now you will find us. So if you go to NIH grants, then you will see this website. You would then click on the funding menu at the top, and then you'll see LRP listed as a funding category. You would then click on LRP, and then you would get to our new location of our website. Now, if you've already bookmarked our website from last year, whenever you had applied, it will automatically redirect you to our new location. And the redirect will last for a year. So just ensure that you update your bookmark. All right, now I want to bring your attention to 2 areas on our website. First being the award page. As an awardee, of course, you'd like to know information that has to do with your award. So this has a lot of information and details on it. If you see the gray box that says on this page, there are a few different categories that are listed there, and I'll touch on that during today's session. And let me go back to this slide. You will also see the white box, which is on the right side of the screen. If you click LRP participation or participant portal, then you'd be able to log in there where you could go through your LRP participant portal and you'll see some specific information there. We also have LRP resources, and on this page you'll see it says manage your award, and on that bullet you could click that link there and then you'd be able to see the award section. There's also a variety of links that are there as well and downloadable forms, and we'll go through that during today's session as well. Okay, now as of September 15th, all contracts have already been signed by the director or designated individual of the IC that funded your award. You can find a copy of your LRP contract in your grants folder, and that will be under other relevant documents. And then you'd see LRP contract signed. You would then click on that link and it'll show you your LRP contract. Even though we don't require you to read through that, we'd recommend reviewing the contract whenever you have time to do so. All right, now we'll go through your responsibilities as an awardee. First being, if you go to ERA Commons and log into your account, you should then go to your personal profile and ensure that your contact information is current, your email address, as well as your mailing address, your home mailing address. Ensure that those are updated. You don't want to miss out on any important information or communications from us, so those have to be updated. If your email is not updated, please update that as soon as possible, because all LRP related communications will go to the email address that is listed in your personal profile on your Commons account. Now for participant portal, you'll see list of application/award. If you have a few of them, you would then scroll down to your LRP application/award. You can click on view portal button. And then when you click that button, it'll show you your award, your quarterly verification, as well as payments. That'll all be located there to make sure that your quarterly verifications are also updated. We have 2 verifications, first being your research as well as the payment verification. Now, if there are any changes relating to your employment, your research, your supervisor, or even your loan or lender, make sure that you communicate that with us in advance. We're not always aware of any changes that you might have regarding those. So make sure that you reach out to us and let us know, and I'll touch on that a little bit more in a slide coming up. Okay, now with research service verification, so all awardees have an LRP research supervisor, and that individual must be at your position of employment, your institution, and that may not always be your mentor. That may be a different individual. So that supervisor individual must have an LRPS role. We have already assigned the LRPS role to all supervisors, and the email that has been sent to your supervisor will be sent 5 days before the quarter. So your first quarter will be ending tomorrow, September 30th. So on September 25th, we then sent emails to all supervisors. As of this morning, we have received service verifications for roughly 2/3 of our awardees. Now, if the service has not been verified, the system will automatically trigger another email that is sent over to the supervisor. And then on the 3rd email, if the supervisor has not verified your service, you will be CC'd on the 3rd email reaching out to the supervisor. You can also check the status of your research service verification on your participant portal. So again, if you notice that your supervisor may not, if you don't see an update, or if there is a change with your supervisor, please email us at lrp.nih.gov. Okay, and then that is what the quarterly service verification will look like when you are in your participant portal. All right, now if there are any changes with your employment, a change of institution, or if you are on an extended leave, even if it's paid or not paid, any changes with your supervisor, it is extremely important that you let us know as soon as possible in as much advance as possible. All right, now for payment verification. Whenever we release payments on your behalf, the payments go directly to your loan servicer. You will receive an email from era-notify@mail.nih.gov. That's the same email address that you should have received communications on during your application process. Whenever payments are released, it may take a few days for the payments to appear in your account. Generally, we say give it up to 2 weeks for that payment to appear. Some of them appear immediately, and some other loan servicers take a little bit while. It is dependent upon which lender you have to service your loans. The email will be sent to you. You'll see an example of that on the right side of the screen. That's showing information of the payment, where the payment went, as well as the amount, and it'll provide instructions there on how you are able to verify the LRP payments. Okay. Also, please ensure that you continue checking your loans. If you happen to be, you have to keep your loan updated. And also, if you have monthly payments, you have to ensure that those are met. Every once in a while, we'll see with the first payment, they are a little delayed because there may have been an issue with the service verification. Also, it could be the government end of fiscal year. So sometimes with that first quarter payment, they will be a little delayed, but usually second or third week of October, you will start to see those amounts reflected in your account. Before we move to the next slide, I just want to remind everyone to please use the Q&A box in Teams to ask your questions, not the chat feature. Okay, now here is an example of exactly what the payment verification looks like. Generally, we'll ask for some specific information. Whenever the LRP payment is shown in your account, you would then provide us with documents that will include the loan servicer, your name or account number, or both, a statement date, LRP payment amount, as well as that date and an updated balance. So all of those need to be required. With some loan servicers, the information may not be all on one page or all on the same page. So you can do a screenshot of the different documents and upload those. You would upload that into your participant portal. Please do not email that information over to us. Please upload those documents. And with some lenders, it could be a little bit more challenging than others. There may be a payment history that's located on one screen and an updated balance may be on a separate screen. However, again, you can upload those together. If you have multiple loans or multiple different types of loans, for example, Stafford as well as a PLUS loan, or even others, we do require separate verifications for all of those. Also, you do not need to verify any federal tax payments that we make, and I'll discuss taxes later on in this presentation. All right, and here is an example of MOHELA and MOHELA's account statement and what that looks like, and all the information that we require. We also have examples of payment verifications located on our website for different loan servicers and what that could look like for you. So you can find that on our website if you'd like to see those payment verifications on your own time. Under the award page, you would then scroll down to payment verification, and in that section you'll see a link to payment verification examples. It's also under our resources page if you scroll down to manage award, and you would find payment verification examples there as well. All right. Now, after the first quarter, we have subsequent quarters following that. So in your email to your supervisor that's sent for service verification, that will be sent. After the first quarter, you would then send over your payment verification documents. When we receive both of those, then the payment is released within 2 weeks of that. After release of payment, roughly 2 weeks to 30 days after the payment's released, you are then required to verify your LRP payment, and then the cycle continues until the end of your award. Now, if you see the payment is not reflected in your account and it has been more than 2 weeks, please reach out to us. Every once in a while, we will see some delayed payments based upon what lender the payments are sent to. It also could be an issue with the payment itself. It could be an issue with the loan servicer. So please make sure that you complete the service verification and the payment verification before the end of the quarter. All right, we'll often get also some questions regarding monthly payments. So the LRP payments are made on a quarterly schedule. So we'll often get questions about what to do of the months that the LRP payments are not made, and if you are still required to make payments. The answer is it depends. The important part to remember here is that we're not taking over your loans. You are still listed as the borrower, and the lender still does have specific requirements. So there are a few options that we have seen individuals take. Some individuals choose to continue making their monthly payments in addition to us making the LRP payments. One moment, please. We're having a technical error. Okay, we had a freezing screen. Okay. So please communicate with your loan servicer and find out the options that are available to you. Some loan servicers require monthly payments, some do not require monthly payments to be made. So as this status, this is a loan servicer that you can see our quarterly payment actually was a prepay of the awardee's monthly payment for many months, actually several years in advance for that specific awardee in this case. So the next month payment was not due until 2031, and that does happen for many awardees. So in those situations, it would be up to your discretion. For other loan servicers that do require monthly payments, there are other options. You could put your loan into a deferment status or forbearance status, and that is also okay with us as long as your loan is still in good standing. So in good standing means there are no late fees that have been assessed nor penalties that have been assessed to your loan. So if you are in a situation like this, you can reach out to your loan servicer and request what other options they might have for you. Okay. Now in situations where there is a change of loan, your loan may be paid off in full. Whenever your loan is paid off in full, we will then, for the next quarterly payment, We will then move on to the next loan that is listed in your portfolio if you have multiple loans. If all of your loans are paid off before the end of your award date, the remaining quarterly payments can also be directed to you in your bank account. Now, if your loan is forgiven by the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, for example, we have seen this. Make sure that you communicate that with us in advance. If your loan was sold or transferred to a different servicer, we've seen that happen, and they also don't inform us of that happen. The loan servicers don't let us know. So for you all, please let us know just to avoid any complications with upcoming payments that you might have. Now, if there are late fees assessed, penalties assessed to your account, also please make sure that you clear those up yourself as early as possible. Again, just to avoid any complications and any delays in your next quarterly payment. Carla, we have Carla, my colleague here. I just wanted to check in with you and see if you had anything that you'd like to add with loan changes.
Nothing, thanks, Matt. Nothing more, but I just want to reiterate that if there are any changes with your loans or with your lender, just email us as soon as possible so we can make the necessary adjustment to your account. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Carla. All right, now we'll touch on some other important information. With taxes, LRP payments are considered a taxable income, so all awardees will receive a 1099 at the end of the calendar year. So roughly late November, early December, we will start emailing individuals to make sure that we have their correct mailing address and make sure that all of that is updated within your Commons personal profile, because you want to ensure that the 1099 is arriving to the correct destination. And with renewals, for most of you, your LRP award started July 1st, 2025, and that will end June 30th, 2027. So that means you are able to apply for a renewal in the fall of 2026, which would be next year. So to ensure that there's no interruption in your award with the LRP. So if you do receive an award next year, it'll begin one day or the next day after your current award ends, which means July 1st, 2027, and there would be no interruption in your service with us. All right, so we also have an ambassador network with more than 800 current and former awardees. So I will let our outreach and communications specialist, Omar McCrimmon, to touch on our ambassador program. Omar?
Thank you, Matt. Hi, everyone. I manage communications and outreach for the loan repayment programs. And our ambassador network is our premier outreach tool, and it's really a networking tool for you all as well. Includes past and present LRP awardees. We have over 700 people in this program, and so this program is really for you guys. And what happens is after new awardees are awarded, this is a way to really essentially give back to the program and just your involvement with the NIH. So you can sign up to be an ambassador. I'm going to put the link in the chat. So you can sign up and I will approve it, and awardees, potential applicants can reach out to you to get advice. I know some ambassadors even share their applications with others, which is totally up to you. But yeah, this is a way to give back to the program. So you can fill that out to become an ambassador. And if you have any questions, I'm going to put the ambassador email in the chat as well, so you can reach out. in case you have any questions. And I will turn it over to Matt.
Okay, thank you, Omar.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there is no deadline for applying to become an ambassador. So if you'd like to become an ambassador now or later down the road, feel free to join that network whenever you'd like.
Mm-hmm. And Matt, one more quick thing. Being an ambassador, you can do one small thing as posting something on Twitter, X, or Blue Sky, or LinkedIn, or as big as hosting events or small roundtable sessions at your institution. And we have plenty of resources available for ambassadors, like slide decks, brochures, Q&A documents, and that kind of thing. So yeah, you won't be left hanging there if you become an ambassador. We have tools that'll help you out at your home institution. So I'll give it back to Matt now. Thanks all.
Thank you, Omar.
Mhm.
All right, so that wraps up our part of the presentation. Now remember to look at our website. We are in a new location for our website, and update your bookmark if you have us bookmarked. We also have information center staff if you do have further questions. Also, we don't have Oh, sorry. If you had reached out previously in the past with our phone number, we do not have our phone system. So to reach out, if you have any questions, feel free to email us. And lastly, communication is key to have a smooth award experience. So more communication and advance notice we have of any changes, the better everything will be. So we'll have a Q&A for about 15 minutes. We can start that in 2 minutes. You can ask questions in the Q&A feature. Also, please remember to upvote questions that you also have the same question. It does seem like some folks can't see the Q&A. So maybe if you had joined by mobile or if you are on the browser edition, it seems to be there are some limitations there. However, we are required to use Teams for this webinar. So I will repeat the question before I answer those. That way everyone knows what question is being asked, and hopefully that will help many of you that may have a similar question. And again, if your question wasn't answered, feel free to send us an email after today's session. Okay, so I will repeat the question. Okay, first question I see is, if a person is in Save Repayment Program but has not transitioned to another program, will LRP payments still be made? And let me look at the rest of this question. And do loans have to be in active or payment for LRP payments to be made in this situation? All loans are not in default. All payments are made on time. Okay. So for the first part, you do not have to be in an active or repayment status. You can be in a deferment. You can also be in a forbearance status as well. So in your situation, we will continue making the payments quarterly if you are in a SAVE plan. So the answer is yes. Okay, next question. In the event of a government shutdown, are verifications or payments delayed? So that is a very good question. If you have been following the news, you are aware that Congress funding is through September 30th, which is tomorrow midnight. So if there is a government shutdown, no payments will go out. And we will have a message located on our website that no one will be available to answer emails. You can still access your account. You can still access our website. However, we will not have anyone available to answer questions or take any action. You can upload documents to your participant portal if we are in a government shutdown. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No one will, in simpler terms, no one will be available until we are back in office and open. Also, dependent upon how long if there is a shutdown, dependent upon how long it is, again, no payments will go out during that time period. When we are back, we will communicate with all of you in regards to updating your payment. Okay, next question. How will tax-related... Okay, so how tax regarding LRP awards will be paid? Okay. So when we release the tax payments, when we release the payments to your lender, we also make tax payments to the IRS. You do not have to verify the tax payments that are made to the IRS. All information for tax payments will be located in your 1099, again, that we will send out to all of you, and tax payments will be 39% of the loan payment amount. So there is no action needed on your part for taxes. We will send over the 1099 with all of that information. Okay, next question. Is the same question in regards to the shutdown, potential government shutdown impact payments? And the answer is yes, it will. No payments will be going out if there is a government shutdown. Okay, next question. I was wondering if you could please discuss how LRP payments can go to PSLF payments. Oh, how they go towards the PSLF payments requirement. Okay. So PSLF is a separate program from the LRP, and that is handled by the U.S. Department of Education. We are separate programs. Regarding the LRP, we have no involvement with PSLF. However, we've heard from many awardees that have had this happen. The payments do count towards the 120 monthly payments. That is a requirement of that program. So specific questions with PSLF, we'd recommend reaching out to the U.S. Department of Education to clarify any of that. Okay, next question with taxes. So NIH makes corresponding tax payments, so we will not owe money for taxes at the end of the year, and the quarterly payments have to be made ourselves. Okay. So I will touch a little bit more on that answer. So yes, you are correct. So we make tax payments at the same time of the loan payments that are made. We make those quarterly. So at the end of the year, we will then send a 1099 over to you, and that will include information on LRP as well as the tax payments. Now, how those impact depends upon individuals. Some of our awardees, we have awardees all over 50 states, which have different laws. So we would recommend talking to an accountant or a tax professional, tax preparer for more details on exactly how the LRP could impact your taxes in your specific scenario. But again, it is dependent upon each individual and also your income. So we do make 39% tax payments on top of your loan amount. And at the end of each calendar year, we will also mail you a 1099. Okay, next question is about research topics. Do research topics have to remain the same through the award period? What happens if academic roles, institutions, topic of research changes within the award period? Can the awardee... Oh, this is a separate question. Okay, so I'll hold on that second part. I'll answer the first part first. So with research topics, they do not have to remain the same. We did talk a little bit about the research service changes. So if there's any changes with your research, communicate that with us. We do understand that sometimes people find new opportunities, whether that be, for example, if your postdoc has ended and you receive a new position, a faculty position, perhaps at another institution, you can have a change of institution. Remember, the award is yours. And if your research project has changed, then also you would let us know. If your research focus has changed as well, just let us know. So and again, that does have to be reviewed by the NIH IC that funded your award if there are any changes made to your research. So if your new research project or research focus is still aligned with the IC and their mission that had funded your award, then they have to approve it. They would then approve the change. If there is a significant change in your research, it is possible that it will not be approved by the IC. And in those situations, your LRP award may be terminated. So it is dependent upon what the changes are, as well as if the IC would be able to approve the changes in your research. Okay, another question. Can an awardee request how... Okay, we're having some technical errors. All right, can an awardee request how much for each loan to be paid while staying within the maximum limit of the award? Okay. So that depends. We do have a loan priority order that we follow in our program. So we will pay your federal loans first before we pay private loans. In some cases, we will review your LRP payments. If you'd request a change for those specific payments, you can email us and we can talk about your specific situation. All right, we have about 5 minutes remaining, so we'll try to answer some more questions. Next question is, if I'm enrolled in the LRP and I make quarterly payments are made on my loan, do I have to make the monthly regular payments as well? Okay, so yes, we did cover that during the presentation. It looks like you had asked the question about 30 minutes ago, and I think that was maybe before we started talking about that. So it does depend on your loan servicer and their requirements that they have. There are some options that are usually available. In some cases, our quarterly payments will prepay your monthly payment amount. However, if it doesn't, or if your loan servicer does require monthly payments to still be made, then it would be your obligation to make those monthly payments or make other arrangements with your loan servicer. And that could be putting your loan in a deferment or a forbearance status. That would be up to your discretion. Okay, next question. So do LRP payments count towards PSLF? So We don't know for sure, but many of our awardees say yes, it does count to the requirements for PSLF, but we'd recommend checking on that. Next question. When will the first quarterly payment be distributed? Okay. So when we receive the service verification from your supervisor, you should expect to receive an email informing you of LRP payments being made roughly the second week of October. If there is not a government shutdown. In the event of a government shutdown, then that could change our schedule and our timeline based on when we're releasing payments. However, I want to emphasize all awardees, it's very important to keep your loans in good standing and make the monthly payments until the first LRP payment amount is assessed and you see it in your account. Okay, next question. What is considered extended leave? 6 weeks. 6 weeks on maternity leave, does that count as extended leave? Okay. So our policy for extended leave can be found on our website. It does depend on a variety of factors, if it's paid or not paid, and also how your leave will be handled. So if you want to email our information center staff and inform us of the dates of the leave and a little bit more information, then we could help you move forward with that and discuss options. All right. So if we have a loan change, do we have to provide those updated documents before the first quarter or only after the first payment has been made? Okay, Carla, did you want to answer that question?
Sure. If there's a loan change, it's really best for you to send it to us as soon as possible. In that way, we can hold the payment and send it to the new lender, because it will take a couple of weeks or more, or a couple of months to retrieve the payment and then send it to your new lender. So anytime you heard or you get a notification from your lender that there are changes, just let us know right away, and then we can email you back with more information on how to handle your changes.
Okay, thank you, Carla. What if the lender isn't changed? However, we have seen the balance reduce since they applied. What should the awardee do in that case?
Just submit, if that's the case, then upload your account statement to your portal. In that way, we can also update your loan balances and update the projected payments. So instead of sending it to loan number 1, we will update the payment and send projected payment and send it to your second loan. This will prevent overpayment to your loan number 1.
Okay, next question, which is going to be the last question because we are almost out of time. Can you explain some more details of the LRP penalty to withdraw from the program for the variety of reasons? Okay. All right, so the LRP contract does have a little bit more information. The penalty is $7,500 for each month of the on-service time period. However, this occurs when you are also in a breach of your contract, which means if someone leaves the program without communicating with us, if they leave their position and they move to working for a for-profit or industry, in those cases, then yes, that would be a blatant breach of contract that we have, and we do have penalties associated with that. However, if something does occur in your life, if you lost research funding, or if your current position is not continuing by your employer, for other situations that might happen that are maybe out of your control. We do have a process. You can request a waiver from us and for your LRP contract, and there is no penalty associated with that if we're able to have your waiver and approve it. All right, we are out of time. I know that there's many more questions in both the Q&A as well as in the chat. I wish we could answer all the questions, and all of the questions are very important. And of course, we value your thoughts, and we want to ensure that you have the information you need. So feel free to email us at lrp@nih.gov, and we will do our very best to reply to everyone as soon as possible. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that this session was beneficial for all of you, and good luck with everything with your research and your award. And we hope that everything goes as smoothly as possible. Thank you all.